Unfortunately, summer is about halfway over, and most people are going to have to start getting busy with stuff like school, college, and work all over again. Yes, that sucks, but it won't stop me from bringing content to you guys and many newcomers. If you have been following my community posts, you will have a good idea of what to expect soon. And today, I am going to give you all my review of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem as part of my review lineup for every animated movie of the year for my series titled Cinemation. Now, I gotta confess, up to this point, I never really watched too much Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles content. The only memories I really have with this franchise is watching the 2003 series with my older brother when I was a little lad, watching the live action movies with my dad, and I even dabbled with the 2012 series and Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the past. But I don't really have enough experience with this franchise to judge this movie in a super detailed manner, so this review will be from the perspective of a for now casual follower of this franchise. With all of that said, let's jump right into this. Now, if you've seen any of the trailers, you would know that the plot of this movie is a retelling of the Turtles' origin story, and to that I would say you are right, but it is still interesting. The story revolves around the four titular Turtles: Leonardo, the blue and courageous leader; Donatello, the purple and nerdy inventor; Raphael, the red and rough fighter; and Michelangelo, the orange and more laid back of the bunch. In this adaptation, they are tired of being forced to hide in the shadows by their helicopter master/father Splinter, who is a giant rat that does not trust humans and is so overprotective and afraid that humans will lash out at them if they are seen in public. As teenagers, the Turtles are tired of this paranoia and want to get out into New York City and be accepted by their fellow citizens. One day they run into a girl named April O'Neil and they get to show off their ninjutsu skills and become allies with her. With that earned, they hatch a plan to bust the crime wave in New York City so they can finally earn their true place in the world. Right off the bat, you will know that this is one of those coming-of-age movies where the protagonist is going through their adolescence and they just want to gain independence and discover life in their own way. Mutant Mayhem does do that in a unique way, as the Turtles in this adaptation are written very closely to how a modern teenager would act, by talking like them, using quote-quote cool terms, making stunt videos, and listening to bands like BTS. Now, this may sound corny, but I love this factor of the movie, because it humanizes these characters, and it makes them feel more real and relatable. Now, that doesn't mean only teenagers can relate to them, because let's be honest, who are some of the most popular users on platforms such as Snapchat, TikTok, or Instagram? That's right, teenagers. Some may think that they are super popular in a cheap way, and if I'm being honest, you are right in a few ways, but a lot of the time, it's them performing talents that they love, and you know what? That's pretty good for me. I love creativity in any way, and if you read the casting, it really shows, because the four main titular Turtles are all voiced by teens and young adults, whose ages range from 15 to 19 years old. In respective order, you have Nicholas Cantu as Leonardo, Mika Abbey as Donatello, Brady Noon as Raphael, and Shaman Brown Jr. as Michelangelo. Now, when I heard their voices in the trailers for the first time, I was a little skeptical, because I wasn't used to hearing the characters sound like this, but just like Chris Pratt as Mario, I started to become more accepting of it over time, and finally did before I went to go see this movie, and I was satisfied coming out of it. And even if you are confused at first, they are written to be the same characters we all know and love, as I really like all four of the characters and how they are written as both your average teenager you would come across, and ones you can also relate to at any age. I also really like Splinter. Not only does Jackie Chan provide a great performance in this role, but the character itself is very well written, as you understand where his grudge for humans come from, and wanting to keep his family safe from potential danger, while also understanding why the Turtles just want to leave the sewers and be a part of society. It's another one of those instances where there is a middle ground with both sides of the conflict, and I love that. I also like April and the bond she forms with the Turtles, as she also tries to become recognized for something and gain respect from her fellow peers as someone who's not a total loser. And then there are the villains. If you are hoping for characters such as Shredder or Krang to be the antagonists, well, I'm sorry to say that they are not in this movie, but we do have Superfly, and boy is he a good one. Not only does he sound great with Ice Cube, yes, Ice Cube is his actor, but his motives and background are super threatening and engaging. Just like Splinter, he holds a grudge against humans, and you understand why. But he takes his hatred for them to the next level, and plots to do horrible things towards mankind. Plus, he leads a gang of other mutants who he wants to carry out his plans with him, and they are all great additions to the film. However, the aspect that has everyone talking the most is, of course, the animation. Now, I don't need to talk about how Spider-Verse influenced this, but one thing I would like to talk about is the setting and character designs, as the Turtles look like a mixture between their 1987 and Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles designs, and they look fantastic. The same can be said for Splinter. Every other character looks great as well, with a ton of detail and care put into their designs. The same can be said for the locations, as they are nothing but a delight to look at with a ton of detail and great looking New York City rough-like atmosphere. The world in this movie looks like it came right out of a teenager's sketchbook, and as someone who watched my friend draw in high school, I think I'm accurate on that statement. And I think I don't need to describe the action scenes so much, because with a movie that has animation looking like this, I think that's when you know that the action scenes are awesome, and you are 100% correct. The action scenes are not only fast-paced and exciting, but whenever you see intentional frame drops, you know the action is getting intense, and I am totally down for that. Imagine if the upcoming Avatar: The Last Airbender movie had this style of animation. So far, I have talked about everything I like and love about this movie. That must mean I think it's perfect, right? Well, no, because despite the movie's strengths, there is one factor that really brings the experience down at multiple points, and that is the humor. Yes, this movie does occasionally have its funny moments, especially with characters like Splinter and the Turtles at times, but I'm not joking when I say that more often than not, there is a pop culture reference for no reason every 5 to 10 seconds, and it gets annoying fast. Now, I'm all for a good pop culture reference when it comes to animated movies, but if you are doing it constantly, it just gets bad really fast. Now, I can give this factor somewhat of a pass, because the protagonists are teenagers, whereas something like Shark Tale has like no excuse, and it's downright awful in every way when it comes to that factor. Plus 98% of the movie, but we are not talking about that, thank God. This flaw does not ruin my experience, but I would have been so much better with references to Family Guy and Hey Arnold not being shoved in my face for no reason. Overall, I had a great time with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. It's not perfect by any means, and I do think its 96% score on Rotten Tomatoes is a bit much, but I'm glad so many people enjoy it to that level. And if I'm being honest, this is the best Nickelodeon movie in a very long time. After years of getting mostly mediocre to garbage films from this studio, I'm glad we got one I can call good, and even great to some extent. My final score for this movie is an 8 out of 10. If you are a Ninja Turtles fan, I really recommend this to you. And just keep an open mind if you find the teacher stuff to be annoying, because think about the casting and crew. And even if you're not a fan, I would say this film is a good time, and you should definitely boost up its box office numbers by going to see it in theaters. With all of that said, let's take a look at the next film for Cinemation.
Big dogs? I'm trying to get home.
I know which way that is.
Oh, great.
Right up my ass, you little.
Oh, no, that can't be right.
It's a talking dog movie from the same people who made 21 Jump Street and Cocaine Bear. Well, I'm just going to hope that it's at least decent, and not just 2 hours of dry cursing and dirty jokes. Well, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more animation content, and keep calm and let life carry you on.